Thank you so much for joining us for Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah, and we have a very exciting program scheduled for you today. So lots of cool things to talk about. We've got some really exciting events going on in Madison that we're going to talk to you about, and some unique business owners joining us today. And we've got our first guest, Amber Glass, who joins us from Basics Cooperative. So welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Lovely.
Good. So really quick, just for viewers at home who are watching, give us just a little bit, some basics, if you would, about Basics Cooperative.
Sure, absolutely. Well, we began as Basics Natural Foods in 1977 in Janesville, and in 2005 we became a member-owned cooperative. And so for just under 10 years now, we are a member-owned grocery store. Natural foods, natural and organic foods, and also we make every effort to offer as much local as we can. So we have a nice variety of local grass-fed meats and Wisconsin cheeses and seasonal vegetables and things like that.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit about what it means to be like part owner. And I know your customers can come in without being part of the co-op or being a part owner. So tell me a little bit about the differences there and what maybe some of the benefits would be to being a part owner.
Sure. Really, we'd like to say as an owner, you just have an equal share in how the co-op is run. As a part owner, you get a multitude of financial discounts and specials that are not also available to the general public, although we do have many that are available to the general public. And you get to have a say in how the co-op is run by voting on any big issues, as far as, for example, about 8 years ago we moved, and that could not have happened had our co-op owners not voted, yes, let's go ahead and reinvest in this expansion. They also get to vote for board of directors and even be on our board of directors.
Okay, great. So lots of great benefits to being part owner. And I know that you guys have so many really great departments, that you have so many different options of things that you can shop for, but I know your vitamins and supplements department in particular is unique. So tell us a little bit about that and what makes it so unique.
Sure. We have one of the largest selections in southern Wisconsin, absolutely, of natural and organic vitamins. And what really makes them unique is that they are all food-based. And so the word, I believe, is bioavailable. They're much more bioavailable when they come from fresh whole food and not so much from synthesizing in a laboratory, but just extracted from fresh whole food the way our bodies understand how to work with them.
That is so cool. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. That's awesome. I'm going to have to come check that out. And I know you guys have some other health resources that you offer besides just the vitamins and supplements department. So tell us what else you have to offer just health-wise for our customers.
Absolutely. We definitely we invest a lot of time in staff training so that our staff can help with all different nutritional needs, be it just your standard omnivore diet, we have plenty for that, but also food allergies of all different kinds we can help with. Gluten-free, there's a lot of a rise in customers who need gluten-free foods. So we have a whole aisle and several freezer doors dedicated to gluten-free. Our locally owned deli inside the store, Lucy's Loon Lake Coffee and Deli, she also makes sure there are always vegan and gluten-free options available. And so we put a lot of emphasis on taking care of all different dietary needs and allergen-friendly foods. And then also we offer classes in our community classroom, which is also available for rent, and several local fitness instructors rent it out for things such as yoga and Pilates and other nutrition classes as well.
Very cool. So customers not only can shop and get some great foods and health resources, but can take some really cool classes, it sounds like.
Absolutely.
So that's one way that you guys give back to the community a little bit. Tell me a little bit more about what you guys do at Basics to give back and reach out.
Sure. I would say an obvious way is a lot of donations. We donate to dozens of nonprofits over the course of the year, and that's through collections with our customers. We have a program called the Wooden Nickel program at checkout that helps 12 different local nonprofits each year. And then also we like to get out into the community and do things like lunch and learns at local businesses. We go to schools and do fruits and veggies based nutrition games. We attend health fairs, things like that. We try to really get out into the community to share the message of natural nutrition and wellness and sustainability.
All right, Amber, well, thank you so much for sharing everything that Basics has to offer. You guys have so much to offer the community, so we really, really appreciate you coming on and telling us about that today. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having us.
All right, guys, well, we have another unique business right around the corner, so stay right there. We're going to be right back with more Talk of the Town. Welcome back to the Talk of the Town. I am Jessa Jeremiah, and before we left you, I promised you another unique guest, and I'm going to deliver. I have Chris Ackley here, who joins us from Easter Seals, Wisconsin. So, Chris, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
Well, thank you for having me.
Good. Well, I'm so excited to have you. I'm so excited for our viewers to hear about Easter Seals, Wisconsin. Tell us first just a little bit about Easter Seals and maybe a couple things that our viewers at home might not know about Easter Seals, Wisconsin.
Sure. Easter Seals, Wisconsin helps kids and adults with disabilities from all over the state. We have programs and services that are offered to people from every county in Wisconsin, including the Milwaukee area. We do have another affiliate in Milwaukee called Easter Seals Southeast, but we do still have some crossover services for them.
Okay, great. And I know that you have a couple of camps. I was actually looking on your website and looking at the different camps that you offer. So really cool things. Tell us a little bit about the differences. There's Respite Camp and Camp Wabeek. Hopefully I said those right. So
Correct.
Tell us a little bit about kind of what those offer for people who want to take part in those.
Sure. Camp Wabeek is the oldest continuously operating Easter Seals camp in the United States, and we're very proud of that. Last year it celebrated its 75th anniversary. Both camps actually offer outdoor recreational activities for kids and adults with disabilities in a barrier-free setting. The really cool thing about it is they can go zip lining, rock climbing, they can go on a nature hike, they take a lot of tractor rides, arts, crafts, all kinds of things. The difference between the camps is they share 400 acres just outside of Wisconsin Dells. Upper camp is Camp Wabeek, and that's for people with disabilities who can operate in more of a group setting. Respite Camp is for more one-on-one personal care where they might have more severe disabilities and they need closer supervision.
Okay, excellent. So some very different kinds of camps that you guys offer, but you know, really beneficial things that you're providing. I can't imagine how many people it must take to have all of these programs running. So tell me a little bit about the affiliates of Easter Seals and what kinds of different jobs do they do? Do they all kind of do the same thing, or are there a lot of different things that go into this?
Well, Easter Seals as a national organization has over 70 different affiliates around the country. So we are just one of them. Each of them provide unique services to kids and adults with disabilities, and they all focus on maybe different types of programs. Our four primary programs are, as we talked about, Camp Wabeek and Respite Camp. Then we also have a farm program and a self-employment services program as our top four.
Okay, very good. So lots of different affiliates that go into this.
Yes.
And like I said, I'm sure there's so many people involved, so very cool. For viewers who want to get involved and want to give back, how do you go about donating to Easter Seals Wisconsin? If they make a national donation to Easter Seals, does that go to the Wisconsin branch, or how does that all work?
It does not. Because we are an affiliate, we do our own fundraising. So if you get a solicitation from someone at 101 Nob Hill Road in Madison, that means that your gift is going directly to support the programs and services that we offer here in the state of Wisconsin. If you might get a solicitation from something that goes to a P.O. box here in Madison, that goes to support national initiatives of Easter Seals as a national organization, and those funds help the overall Easter Seals organization, but they don't affect us directly here in Wisconsin.
Okay, good to know, good to know. So we're going to donate directly to you if we can, and I'm sure any donation is always welcome. So.
We appreciate every donation that we get. We are extremely good stewards of the funds that we get from people here in Wisconsin, and we're very proud of that fact.
And tell me a little bit about what my donation is going to go to. So you mentioned some different services. Tell me, what's the breakdown of where my donation is going to go and how viewers at home who want to donate know that all of their money is going directly to you?
Sure. As I mentioned before, we are very proud that we're good stewards of donations. 87 cents of every dollar that is donated to Easter Seals, Wisconsin goes to directly support our programs and services. Oftentimes, campers won't be able to afford the full fee, so we have campership opportunities, so we do help cover those costs. Obviously, it takes a lot of money to support both of those camp programs as well as our farm and self-employment programs, and so that's where the majority of the donations go.
Okay, cool. So we are just about out of time, but really quick, I know you've got an upcoming event, and I really want to make sure that you tell us about that. So what's going on?
Well, thank you very much. We're very proud to work with one of our camp families, actually. They put on an event called Power By for Good, and it is coming up at Capitol Brewery on May 21st. We'll have some great food sponsored by Yola's Cafe. We've got a great band called Baby Rocket from the Madison area, and we will be having a camper speak as well.
Okay.
And so people can learn all about Easter Seals at that event.
Well, we look forward to it. Thank you so much, Chris Ackley with Easter Seals Wisconsin. We greatly appreciate having you. And we've got lots more Talk of the Town just around the corner, so stay right there. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Jessa Jeremiah, and we actually have a news partner joining us, Julia Voss, who wears many hats, actually. She joins us from the Shamrock Shuffle and from the Boys and Girls Club. So welcome. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
So first of all, I'm so excited to talk about the Shamrock Shuffle. I promised some events that we were going to talk about some Madison events, and the Shamrock Shuffle is such a cool one. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, it started with just a group of friends. The thinker and founder of it was my friend Megan Sisson and Steve Donovan, who is now our race director, Matt Anderson, Matt Ivins, and myself. And really, it started out about 11 years ago where we just wanted to have a fun little event in the community. It brought out a couple hundred people. And through trial and error, we kept growing it, and it just turned into a great event that brings the community out. We wanted to, of course, give the proceeds back to a charity, which we chose the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County. And it has just continued to grow and become a wonderful weekend in Madison around St. Patrick's Day.
So fun, and so many people come out to enjoy this event. So tell us a little bit how you got involved. You said that the Shamrock Shuffle has been around for 11 years.
Yes.
So have you been involved this whole time, or what really got you a part of this event?
Yes, with a group of friends, I've been involved. I started out, being the person that would take the timing and write everything down when the runners were coming in the finish line, and then we've improved that to chip timing. So, I've been part of the whole planning and organization and everything with the group of friends I mentioned, and we just continue to add people to our group as we need volunteers. We've found some wonderful vendors in town and volunteer groups to really keep it going. It really doesn't continue without the volunteers, and we use a lot of the help from Boys and Girls Club too. The kids come out, the kids are all out motivating all of the runners, and it really takes a big group of people to make it happen.
Oh yeah, I can't even imagine. I'm sure it takes lots of people to get this big event up and running.
Right.
And the Shamrock Shuffle actually has a board of directors, right? So tell me a little bit about how the board of directors decided to start getting affiliated with the Boys and Girls Club and how that all came about, because I know, like you said, most of the proceeds are going directly to the Boys and Girls Club. So how did that all start, that partnership there?
That wasn't difficult at all. We all actually really enjoy everything that the Boys and Girls Club is doing in the community, and I personally helped Mary Burke, who was the previous president of Boys and Girls Club, helping her with her volunteer when she was doing the bike ride for Boys and Girls Club. She needed someone to help her coordinate the volunteers. So I used to work with her on that. And that helped us get closer to Boys and Girls Club. And then they hired Michael Johnson, who came out to run the event when he actually first moved to town. And he's just done so many wonderful things with the club and serves 3,000 kids. There's just so much going on. We definitely had no just no problem making sure the proceeds are going to the Boys and Girls Club. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I introduced you up front as being with both. So tell me a little bit, I know you're intimately involved with the Boys and Girls Club. Tell me about your personal relationship there and how that came about.
Sure. I'm on the board of directors of Boys and Girls Club. I'm also head of the program committee, and I work directly with the CEO and COO. And what the program committee does is just making sure that the programs that are in place continue to thrive and serve the kids in the way that we intend to, and then also create new programs. And one of the new programs we're working on right now is adding summer camps there's already summer camps, so we're doing more of a full-time summer camp program, which will be a fee for service, but it'll certainly bring kids from all around Dane County in areas that we haven't yet touched, such as Sun Prairie and different areas of Madison and Verona. So that's really exciting, and we just started this new full-time camp this year. But the campers that we always serve every summer, that program is always in place and has done just been one of our great programs. We serve, like I said, about 3,000 kids. We want to up that to hopefully about 4,000 kids in the near term. But I mean, it takes a lot to do this. It takes a lot.
Absolutely.
So the community, and their involvement in what we do for Shamrock Shuffle certainly is, we're there to help.
Well, that's excellent. Thank you so much for
Sure.
sharing about the Boys and Girls Club. And we just celebrated St. Patrick's Day and had a really cool Shamrock Shuffle, so we can't wait till next year.
Thank you.
Julia Voss, thank you so much
you.
for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to be back with one more very exciting guest, another event that's going on right here in Madison. So stick around for more Talk of the Town. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm Jessa Jeremiah, and I have lots of great guests joining us who are going to tell us all about another fun event that's going on in the Madison area. We've got Vanessa Tortolano here and Dylan Brogan from Puppet Town. So welcome, guys. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Great, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, well, I'm so excited to have you, and I've got to know who you brought, some of the stars of the show. So tell us who we have with us today.
Well, I'm Scooter, and I live in Puppet Town.
And my name is Omar, and I'm very happy to be here. I watch the CW all the time.
Well, so glad to have you. So Puppet Town is a comedy, and a unique one at that. So tell us a little bit about why it's unique and what viewers need to know. Why should we come?
Go ahead, Vanessa, you'll explain.
Okay, I will explain. Puppet Town is improv puppeteering. We are from the Monkey Business Institute. We do live improv short form. But this is going to be a little bit different. It's more long form. We have created characters, we have background stories, and then we're going to get a few suggestions, and then we're just going to roll with it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So guests can kind of shout out a couple of things that they want to see, and you guys just roll with that and do improv.
Right.
So cool.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Monkey Business Institute, and that's where you guys are affiliated with as well. So tell me a little bit about Monkey Business Institute and how that's sort of different from the Puppet Town that you do.
Monkey Business, we do 2 shows every Saturday. We have the 5:30 all ages show, and then we have an 8 o'clock grown-up show. And we do short form improv, and it's really fast-paced and fun, and we've been having sold-out shows for months now, and it's been a lot of fun. We do it every Saturday at the Glass Nickel, the basement of the Glass Nickel on Atwood Avenue.
Okay, cool. We'll have to check that out, definitely. And it seems like you guys really focus on the improv piece. So talk to me a little bit more about improv and what makes that different from some other comedy shows that you might be part of.
Terry, why don't you explain what improv is? Since
All right,
you're
all
such
right,
an
all right.
expert
The
in
main concept of improv is yes and. So you get a suggestion or somebody says something and you just sort of go along with it. You yes and it. You keep going. You never deny anything. You don't go around killing people and, knocking them
You
off.
make
or
it all
anything.
up. That's what you do. You make
Right.
it all up.
Right. You make it up.
Okay.
On the spot.
Cool.
No script. We're like a wild party every day.
Yeah.
I can see that just from sitting here with you right now. So Puppet Town is, you mentioned, at Glass Nickel Pizza Company, so very cool. We'll have to come check that out. And you mentioned too that there's some other comedy acts that you do, so tell me a little bit about how Puppet Town may differ from some of those other things.
Well, Puppet Town is different mainly because of all the puppets involved in the program.
Yeah.
Normally, no puppets. But it's different in that we're a normal improv show. you have human beings instead of the puppets. That's one.
Right.
And we're doing a little less audience participation and more of a storyline, like a long-form storyline. But it's really a fun, different kind of improv show if you haven't, or if you have seen our improv show at 8 o'clock or at 5:30.
Okay, very good. We're going to check that out. And you've got two very fun puppets with you today, some characters of the show. Who else is part of the show, and what are your favorite characters?
We've got a number of characters. Each of us runs a few puppets. And we've got Larry, who's a monster, and then we have Dwayne, who lives in his mom's basement and plays D&D all day. And we also have Clarence. He is the psychologist of the town, because we all need some help.
But he's
right?
old and he falls asleep a lot.
Right, he's got narcolepsy.
Yep.
And then there's a cute bartender. She's the only girl in town for the most part.
We need more girls in Puppet Town. Please send us your women.
Yeah, send your women.
Yep. Who else do we got? Then there's Brad. He's the accountant. There's
Right.
me. I run the liquor store in town.
Yeah.
And
By the
all
way-
sorts of other shenanigans.
Right. By the way, this show is not for kids. It's at
No,
10:30
good-
at night. Please don't bring your kids unless you want to traumatize them or they have already been traumatized.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Leave them home so they can watch Cops on the CW,
Adults
okay?
only, very important
Adults
to know.
only.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Real quick, we are starting to run out of time, but I want to ask you a little bit more about Monkey Business Institute. And I know there's a group of you, right? So tell me a little bit more about the other improvers that are part of the group.
Oh, well, there's Matt Sloan and Aaron Yanda. They do Chad Vater and all sorts of web video stuff. And we have Sheila Robertson. She is a very talented improviser. She does stuff in Dodgeville and all sorts of crazy stuff. Vanessa owns a factory in town. And Dylan, right here behind me, he is unemployed, but sometimes works for media outlets.
Oh my goodness.
Basically, if you look up any of the players in Monkey Business Institute, they will have a fabulous, interesting background
Very
that they're
cool.
working on now.
Excellent. A very talented group of people. I've got 4 very talented folks right here in front of me. We look forward to checking out Puppet Town and other shows by Monkey Business Institute. Thank you for joining us. That's it for Talk of the Town today. Thank you so much. We hope you have a great week. Bye.